Shockadoobie. Calculated. Shockadoobie.
Slay.
What a save.
So funny.
Welcome, and thanks for listening to some chatter to scatter your brain and boredom on the Scattercast. So, how often do you guys think about How often do you guys think about the Roman Empire?
Oh my god. What was that?
Infrequently. Very infrequently.
Are you not on the internet very often, Sean?
I saw the thing that you sent in the Instagram chat. I have no idea what that's referencing.
Go ahead and explain it.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like a thing on TikTok, Instagram, and people are like, guys, think about the Roman Empire a lot. And then a bunch of people are like asking their significant others, their boyfriends and dads and whatever. And it's like, how often do you think of the Roman Empire? And then they're like, oh, not that often, like 2 or 3 times a week.
What?
Yeah, you're a guy, Sean. How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
Almost like never. I feel like I don't. Maybe like once a week at most. Probably way less.
What about it once a week?
I don't know. Like, not that I like am like, ooh, I want to think about it. Maybe it just like comes up because it's so like, you know, culturally significant, I guess.
I have a conspiracy theory, guys. And
Okay.
This is a legitimate conspiracy theory because I don't think
We'll see.
people do tend to think of the Roman Empire very often. But now that there's this social media trend about they think about the Roman Empire, now people are going to start thinking about the Roman Empire. And I did a curious little Google search as to movies coming out in 2024. And wouldn't you know, the most famous movie about the Roman Empire, Gladiator, has its sequel coming out in 2024. So is this all just a marketing campaign
It could be.
for Gladiator 2? It definitely is.
I feel like they're not that, like, they wish they could do something like that. They're just happy for the free, like, mind publicity.
It's definitely working out in their favor.
It is.
Yeah, and
I would
that's
be
why
impressed
it's
if they set it up though.
it's definitely set up.
Yeah.
It's definitely set up, in my opinion. I would definitely say it's set up. How are you guys doing this week?
I'm doing better than last week. I had a pretty heavy day yesterday, but today was pretty good.
Nice. My week's okay. It's kind of bleh. Just kind of sitting in my room working on stuff. Weather's not awesome, but it is what it is.
I'm going to I'm going to email/give my letter asking for leave tomorrow. And I have been stressing all week for really no reason because, like, it's an okay and thing to do, but, like, it makes me really nervous. And, like, whatever their answer B is going to be kind of like my future. If they say no, then I'm going to quit. And then if they say yes, then, like, it's not as bad. But so I'm nervous, but
How long are you asking for?
5 weeks.
5 weeks? To do what?
Yeah, I want to know what she's going to be up to for 5 weeks without work. I know what she'll be doing for 3 of those. I don't know about
Your
the other
honeymoon
2.
is 3 weeks?
No, our honeymoon's 2, but you know, the week
Okay.
before the wedding, I'm sure.
Yeah, I want the week
Oh.
before the wedding off. And then my mom was like, well, if you're asking for time off, you know, might as well shoot high and have, like, the week after your honeymoon off and then the week before if you need it. And so there's, like, room to negotiate.
Yeah, shoot high, and then if you have to, you can come down. But if they're willing to give you, like, 5, don't open with, like, 3.
Yeah. So
They go low, we
my
go
guess
high.
is they will say no matter how many weeks it is, because I'm pretty sure the policy is only sick leave. So
Yeah.
I'll probably be quitting.
Sucks.
You could say you're lovesick.
You know, since we're a group of really wise adults, I want to start off a new segment. Essentially, I'm
Adults.
grabbing people's problems off the internet and we'll give them our solicited, scattered advice. How was that for a segue, guys? That was pretty good.
Cue soundbite, just scattered advice, you know.
Scattered advice.
Have you seen Parks and Rec?
I have. I don't think
I've
Tony.
seen like one episode. It was pretty good.
Do you remember the episode where she's like running for council and Ben Wyatt does a voiceover for her like smear campaign? He's like, in a world. That's what it sounded like.
That's what we're going for.
Ben White's the best. He's my favorite Parks and
He's
Rec
pretty
character
good.
for sure.
He's my character crush. My number one character crush.
He's on the highway to the calzone zone.
He's
To
wonderful.
Pizza Hut.
How dare you?
Yeah.
I had a calzone for the first time actually at a Pizza Hut, and I'm from Italy, so that's crazy.
I'm sure you
I didn't
hated
even know
it.
that they did.
Calzone's
It was actually-
Italian.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they did those at Pizza Hut.
I didn't either, but like we were on the way to a soccer tournament and it was super late at night, so it was just me and my mom, and we stopped at a Pizza Hut. We're still like an hour outside of Jackson for the tournament, and the lady at Pizza Hut, it was like the pizza was taking forever, so they gave us calzones for free as like a little appetizer. And my mom was like,
An appetizer?
yeah, it was an appetizer. It was like
Aren't calzones big?
little, yeah, but these are like little ones. It was like one and it's split in two, but like yeah, it was weird.
It is weird.
But it wasn't bad. This is not really advice, but this is where we're judging an opinion. I got this off the Reddit unpopular opinions. So listen to this title: Taco Bell is the king of all American foods, and anyone who trashes it is just trying to make the same old recycled joke everyone else has already made 10,000 times. Thoughts on that? Just right off the
I don't
bat.
fully disagree. It's
King of
nice
American
start.
food or American fast food?
It's,
Here it says American foods.
Oh man,
I could see the argument for fast food.
yeah,
Yeah.
fast food, yeah.
it is genuinely good for fast food, I think.
And I do agree that like the Taco Bell giving you diarrhea joke is way overused. And
I will be honest,
Yeah,
it
so.
does give me number 3 most times. So
I've never gotten number 3.
Neither have
I didn't know diarrhea was referred to as number 3.
well, sometimes it's 3 and sometimes it's 4. You never know.
Dude, then what is 3 or 4 in that situation?
Well, there's also like vomit.
That's not coming out your butt, though.
Well, it doesn't
Is
have. Okay,
4
the number
vomit?
1 is not coming out of my butt.
Yeah, but it's that general area.
That's a good point.
It is a good point. Number 5 is just food poisoning, where it's coming out everywhere.
No, that's just sweat.
One time I got food poisoning and I was on the toilet in the middle of peeing when I had the sudden urge to throw up. So I stopped peeing, got off the toilet, and then I vomited so hard into the toilet that I finished peeing on the ground.
This is
But that
good
wasn't
content.
from
This is
Taco
yeah,
Bell.
this is great for a first episode of a podcast.
I think that the number, like number 1, number 2, I think that's just based off of, and I'm going to use a really cursed word here. I think that's just based off of the orifice. So like pee, number 1, poo, number 2. And so
That's not correct. That's not correct.
So tears are like what, number 6 or something? Sorry, I'm having a really bad
What'd you
day. I
say?
need a number 6.
What?
Crying is
Tears.
number 9.
yeah, throw up can be like number 4 or 3. I don't know.
A runny nose is number 5.
I do think this is
Yeah.
a pretty insightful thing to say though, Sean. I will give you that.
Apparently, an urban legend is that, like, people would, like, lift up a finger to go to the bathroom, and, like, 2 would mean, like, going to the outhouse. And so it, like, got, because
Is that
boys
where we
can...
got peace? People leaving peace.
So this guy begins with an apology. I'm sorry, but Taco Bell, for that price and that quality, is absolute god tier food. Simple as best, man. A soft tortilla, shredded cheese, cool
Stop
lettuce,
it,
and hot
Tony.
beef. Come on. Yeah, are there more expensive places out there with higher quality ingredients? Sure. But Taco Bell represents what America does best with other countries' food. We take it, we make it our own, and we basically keep all the good parts and ditch anything that doesn't fit. I'm not trying to say Taco Bell deserves 3 Michelin stars, but as far as fast food goes, it's got to be one of the healthiest options if you stick with the simpler menu items. It's portable, easy to eat, relatively light, even the sodium levels are perfectly reasonable. And at the end of the day, it just tastes good. Like, there's no other way to put it. It tastes fucking fantastic.
I don't know where he got his sodium information.
Yeah.
My first question for you guys is, he said he took like Mexican food, right? And America took out what they don't want and just made it good. But I feel like Taco Bell puts like so many things in their tacos. What did they take out?
Yeah.
Spices.
spices.
Yeah, like decent, seasoning and flavor profile, I guess.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Good quality beef.
Good quality tortillas.
Yeah, I really don't know what this guy's talking about. I thought this was going to be like it's really good fast food. And I was going to be like, okay, like, yeah, I see that.
He called
He
it
did say
healthy.
that.
The pinnacle, he did call it healthy. Like, what? It's just not.
Let's compare it to other fast food places, though.
Wendy's.
On like a health scale. What would be the healthiest?
Are we
Subway.
counting something as
No, I'm kidding.
Subway? Is that fast food?
Subway has like fake tuna. That's not
Yeah,
healthy.
Subway is gross. I don't like Subway.
Also, its bread is like, isn't it the bread's considered...
You eat an entire loaf of bread, it's not healthy. And you're right,
Yeah.
like the bread's not even considered bread because there's so much sugar in it.
Yeah, in Ireland, they like legally classify it as cake or something, right?
Oh my god.
That's hilarious. Something like that.
Wild.
That's why it's so good.
Okay, so Subway's not the healthiest. They're just masquerading as healthy.
I think they're all masquerading. Chipotle? Is Chipotle healthy?
Chipotle could be
That's not
healthy.
healthy.
I feel
I
like
mean, it's like,
easy
I feel like it's
to make it
better
healthy.
than like, KFC.
I don't know. I feel like it could be. It's just beans. Beans and
Meat
chicken.
and rice.
Especially if you get the brown rice, it's not bad, I feel like.
The other curious thing is that he called it portable, which I would think of all fast food as essentially portable.
All fast food is portable. That's half.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Also, that doesn't like make food better necessarily. Like, that's not my top consideration with food. Like, can I take it with me?
Mine's like, can I eat it in the car while I'm driving? But the answer is yes to most fast food.
Well, I'm talking about food in general, not just fast, because he's like making the case that this is the best American food, not fast food.
But he did say fast food later in the post, so I feel like it's more fast food related.
Well, the title speaks more rather than going back and like retconning it as a fast food debate.
Regardless, I feel like tacos or Taco Bell tacos aren't that portable because they spill so easily, and I don't want it to spill in my lap.
Like the burritos are pretty portable, but the shells, yeah, no.
So what's our verdict here?
I think he's right about it being the best fast food, but I think he's wrong about it being the best American food. I think he does have a point with like American culture changing different cultures' foods to like make it fit ours.
Let's move on to a second piece of advice. There's somebody else on the internet that needs advice, and as it
Is
would
this
turn,
one real advice?
yeah, and as it would turn out, actually Tali and I are getting married in 37 days, and the other people here, Allie is a bridesmaid and Sean is a groomsman, and so this person is a bridesmaid at a wedding and needs some advice. She's asking, am I the asshole for refusing to bleach my hair for a wedding?
No.
So
I love the wedding ones. The wedding ones are so fun.
So, I am meant to be in the bridal party of my friend Zoe's wedding in December 2024. They've got a long time to figure this out.
Wow, that is, yeah.
A couple days ago, she met with me and the rest of the bridal party to discuss what the plan was for her hair, makeup, dresses, etc. At first, it seemed reasonable. She's going for a winter wonderland type of theme. So blue dresses, all in different shades lined up as a gradient with silvery accents, snowflake jewelry, and soft makeup, even blue eye contacts for those of us without blue eyes. The last one's a bit weird, but no big deal. I've worn colored contacts before for Halloween. The bit that ended up being an issue for me is that Zoe requested we all get our hair dyed. A couple members of the bridal group are natural blondes with dyed ends, and so is Zoe, but she wants to go platinum for the wedding. But the rest of us are two brunettes, a strawberry blonde who wasn't blonde enough, and a redhead. I'm one of the brunettes, and I'm the only one in the group who has never dyed or bleached their hair. I've considered it, but I can never stay settled on what I want to do, and I'd hate to spend money on something that I end up hating. On top of that, my mom spent from ages 5 to 13 flat ironing my hair almost every single day. It really damaged my hair. I'm almost certain it's resulted in my hair being thinner than it used to be. I know bleaching can also damage your hair, and I don't feel comfortable taking that risk yet. I told Zoe I wouldn't be able to dye my hair. She insisted it would be fine, as my hair seemed quite healthy, and she would be paying for the bleaching treatments for all of us. I again said no, thanks so much, but I can't. I asked if I could just wear a wig. She said no, that wigs are cheap and unnatural, and she wants us to have our real hair bleached instead of some cheap imitation for the day. After more back and forth, she told me I should go home and think about the fact that I'm ruining her vision and that I'd be ruining the photos and wedding video that she and her fiance will be putting together for his grandparents. that they'll be
For no one else besides
well,
the grand-
it's for them to
this is
view.
like a lot.
They won't be able to fly to the wedding because they're from Argentina. So she apologized,
Maybe if
paid for
she
her meal,
saved
and
all
left.
the money she's gonna pay to bleach these people's hair, she could buy them a plane ticket because bleaching hair is expensive.
Yeah. I really don't want to dye my hair, but I also don't want to ruin Zoe's picture perfect day. I don't think I'm being difficult or wrong here, but am I?
No.
It sounds fake almost.
It sounds like she really likes the movie Frozen, is what it sounds like. Zoe does.
I think at this point, if she's gonna ruin the vision, she should just give up being a bridesmaid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks though, because she shouldn't have to, because she's this person's friend, but
Yeah, but that's like a crazy thing to ask of someone to do.
It also feels like weirdly racial because hair
Yeah.
and or blue eyes and blonde hair
Yeah.
for
that's
every
what I was
single
good
person
point.
in your
Yeah.
wedding.
Yeah, that is.
I didn't think about that.
something.
That's a good point.
So I think the verdict would be that she is not the asshole. And I think Zoe should really just kind of say, yeah, you might as well just wear a wig. Or
And unnatural, like bleaching her hair wasn't gonna be unnatural.
Exactly.
That's silly.
I thought the same thing.
Besides,
There's
we
also
can,
nice wigs out there that
Yeah.
are made of human hair, so they look pretty good.
yeah.
Holly, what are you asking from your bridesmaids? What color should they dye their hair?
They're all supposed to dye their hair the color of their dress.
Remember when I dyed my hair red?
Like 6 times?
Maybe?
Yeah.
I just see Allie like maybe once a week, maybe every other week, and she'd have a different hair color every time.
I was going through it.
You do great for Zoe's wedding.
We watched a Hallmark movie called The Professional Bridesmaid. And later, we saw that actually exists. So you could get paid a lot of money to do that if you wanted to.
That's what I need to do. A professional groomsman. Just get,
No, we're not good enough for you.
He's saying he needs the money.
Oh.
I need the money, but like I'm also I understand weddings now.
After staring at like thousands of them.
Exactly. This last one is advice, but it's also just kind of a talking point that I certainly have opinions on, and we don't really have to go based off what is fully said here. But I think this is a more serious topic in our everyday. So this guy says that he thinks cyberbullying is bullshit. Changed my view. Like a lot of people, I was bullied all through school. I understand that all of us are raised differently, and not all of us are given the tools to deal with situations like these. I just don't think babying the kids is fixing it. It allows them to be a quote-unquote victim. I know they are victims, but I mean in the sense of that's the tool we are giving them to respond. Aside from that, cyberbullying is even more bullshit. Maybe I'm just stuck comparing my experience to the fact that the internet is not a quote-unquote nice place. It just seems silly to think that when you add anonymity, people won't be more cruel. At that point, it is literally just words on a screen. You can delete posts, block phone numbers, delete accounts, so many more ways to just walk away, which is exactly what I and many others did when bullied in person. And so what I really get from here is the age-old discussion against cyberbullying, the just turn off your computer discussion, which I think is very damaging towards victims of cyberbullying, because what are you doing when you're just turning off your computer? You allow the bully to win and send you away from somewhere that might otherwise give you joy. So what are your thoughts on the we grew up as the internet and social media was becoming more prevalent in our lives, kind of towards middle school and high school, where we could have encountered both cyberbullying and in-person bullying. Do y'all have any views on the differences between that and how we should approach them?
I think this person is looking at it with a real lack of empathy and maybe doesn't realize how relentless cyberbullying can be, because people can follow you from platform to platform. So like even if you leave one platform, especially if they're kids from your school, they can follow you around, and then they also see you in person. So like really and truly, how do you just walk away?
And even after that, like he's like, oh, turn your stuff off or whatever, but people can screenshot your pictures and send those around, and like, I don't know, there's a lot more to it than just it being words. A lot of it isn't even just words.
There's a lot of threats that go out online. With a lot of technology, people can get doxxed. Even they'll just send you your address as a threat. And I think, like Ali is saying, like you can get followed a lot more. If you take the example of just turn your computer off and walk away, in real life, what would that mean? You're getting bullied in science class. What are you supposed to do? Just leave science class? Then you don't get what you're supposed to get. You don't get that enriching or potentially enriching experience.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, Tony, like, these people, whoever is like cyberbullying someone, if I just like, maybe I'm in like a Discord chat or something, right? And somebody's like being a jerk to me. Yeah, I can like leave the chat, or I'm like playing a game. I could like leave not play the game, but like maybe I want to do those things, or like maybe I want to be in science class. So if they're still like exerting influence over you, even if it's not like in person. I think the most important part of this, or probably the like most interesting part of this to me, is that this person says they were bullied in person too, and I think that has probably shaped their view of like, kind of, well, I made it through, so like why can't these other people not be like, quote unquote, like strong like me? I think it's kind of an insecurity.
It's unclear if they're like kind of our age or if they're somewhat older, so they wouldn't have experienced cyberbullying maybe while they were in high school. So they see like, maybe I went to school and I got pushed in a locker and that hurt, versus now kids are worried about, they went to school and everybody is making fun of them through a phone. Well, they didn't get pushed in a locker and hurt their shoulder or something. So perhaps they're looking at it like this, but I think there's many nuances to it that I think people don't necessarily take into account.
I also feel like emotional bullying, for me at least, is worse than like physical bullying. Like I'd rather someone push me than like emotionally harm me, I guess. Like I feel like the emotional bullying would last longer and impact me more.
Yeah. I think all bullying is bad, obviously. And yeah, real hot take. It's hard to like have a solution for it, because with the anonymity you get online, unless you're really doing something incredibly heinous, like the authorities can't really do much about it. And so how do you monitor that? I think,
well, just the ubiquity of like online spaces in our daily lives too. I mean, who doesn't in some way, shape, or form every single day for like probably at least an hour access not just like, Google, but like a social platform like Instagram or something, right? Like we're always on these spaces. So if you're being bullied, that's like that's going to really kind of impact you, I think.
And I wanted to bring up this subject because we're starting something that we're going to put out on the internet.
We just get bullied.
Well, I'm just saying, hey, we might get some hate comments down the line, or
Tony
maybe
guy's
not.
a loser.
I know, right? That's me. I am a loser. And so, like, I'm thinking, how do we approach that? Because, I've gotten some hate comments on YouTube before, and man, I could be reactive to those. And as I grew older, I just decided to ignore those, or just delete them off the page. But, people like that, I was a very small YouTuber and that happened to me. But, people, the bigger you get, people will follow and continue to harass. And so I see a lot of people just turn off comments, and I think that's as a sad way of handling it, because there are good people out there who want to say nice things and enrich things. So I think one of the main things I would think of is to just not address it and ignore it. Don't give them the satisfaction of letting it affect you. But it's not that simple, really.
Yeah, I mean, even if you don't like sort of like they don't know, like you didn't respond with like, hey, you know, this made me so mad or something like that, right? You just like block them and they're gone. Like I know, like I've received a couple comments on YouTube that were like positive things, and I know like those made me feel very happy, and I like really did, or I like really was affected by those. And so I think kind of Talia's point about the like lingering nature of emotional bullying. If I got like a hate comment, like if I put out like a sound thing on YouTube and somebody's like, dude, this blows, like you should just quit, give up or something, you know, like something horrible like that, that would make me feel like shit. And if that kept happening, like maybe I would turn off comments.
Yeah, it's just something we need to keep in the back of our minds. And, you know, people out there, just do something better with your life. Don't leave hate comments to people, really.
Yeah, I can understand like constructive criticism if you feel like in some way you could help this person improve, but what do you gain from leaving just purely negative comments?
On that note, I think we can move on to another segment.
Let's brighten it up.
Yeah, let's move on to something that is really important, especially as we grow older, because we're all about the same age, young adults, and that's self-care. This is a part of life where everyone falls short, that even I'd say a lot of people don't really even consider until it's frankly too late. Self-care can include our mental, emotional, physical, environmental, recreational, and social health. We don't have to go over all of them all at once. I personally believe to achieve big goals, it's helpful to set smaller, achievable goals first. But let's talk about what we're doing to take care of ourselves this week and try and set some goals that we can discuss in later episodes. Allie, you're on the spot. What are you doing to take care of yourself this week?
Oh, so my goal has been to do some sort of exercise 5 days out of the week. So I've been going on a lot of walks in the morning, and then I had those 2 soccer games, and then I'm going to a volleyball thing on Friday, tomorrow. So prioritizing exercise, because if I don't, I am a sloth. And yeah, I actually went to the doctor last Thursday because I've been having heart palpitations that I'm pretty sure are just related to anxiety. And I scored really high on like the anxiety scale thing. So yeah, trying to prioritize that. Mine was related to when school started back up, and I signed up for way too many extracurriculars. So obviously, like being in medical school, I already have a lot going on. And then on top of that, I'm in 2 research projects, like 2 separate ones. And then I had a leadership role in 6 different clubs. So 2 of them today I reached out to, and I was like, hey, like functionally, would it be fine if I stepped down? And if not, like I can definitely work around that. And they both said it was perfectly fine. So.
Well, you know, that's a self-care thing though, right there, is like sort of realizing your limits and like knowing that, yes, like all this stuff is cool to do, but I can't do all of it.
Yeah. And some of them, like, I really care less about than other ones. So by stepping down from the ones I care less about, I have more time to work on the other ones. Like the OB-GYN SIG, I'm working on the documentary. One of the professors at our school knows, like, the director of the film, Tony. I don't know. I'm going to ask him about it, but I
know the director too.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'll tell him I know the editor.
Yeah,
Nice.
great.
That's cool.
That's awesome. Sean, do you want to set a goal for the next week?
Something that Allie mentioned that I've been both trying to do better at, but also not doing enough of still, is exercise. Once I like moved back up here for school, like once the semester started, I started doing like very light kind of like, push-up, sit-up stuff every day, like just a little bit, because like fairly skinny guy, want to look a little more kind of toned and stuff. And unfortunately, exercising actually like, releases endorphins or whatever. If only sitting on the couch could do that. But I think my goal is like, I'm right in the middle of this big city. And I go and walk sometimes, but it's so easy for me to like, especially given how busy I'm going to end up being and how busy I kind of already am. It's so easy for me to just like beeline it to class, beeline home, beeline to the store, and like never even go like a block that way to like go to the park or something, right? So I think I need to get better about that.
If you go outside more for your exercise, there's this chemical that trees release that actually helps calm humans. So if you spend more time in the woods or in a park with a lot of trees and breathe in this chemical that they're releasing, it can relax you.
That's cool.
Or plant a tree in your apartment.
Common tree dub right there. Trees are cool.
Trees are cool.
We love the trees here on the Scattercast. Talia, what are your self-care goals for the week?
Mine's also exercise. I know. I was doing really well up until like the summer, and not because of summer necessarily, but because that's when like I started my second like class at work, and then all the like bachelorette and etc. stuff for like my sister and me just threw all that off. And so I haven't like, I've gone on walks with Tony, and I try and walk every day.
Almost every day, yeah.
Almost every day. I don't think we walked today.
Yeah, we didn't.
We
walk
didn't.
today, no.
I've been really pooped, but I want to get more into like lifting weights again, because that's what I'd been doing, and just kind of building that back up. And now I'm also like anxious because I've like gained a little bit of weight, and I'm scared I'm not going to fit into my wedding dress. And I think I will, but like that's like in the back of my mind. So that's my goal.
That's a huge stress to have, even just in the back of your mind. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it's
and I'm
okay.
sure you will fit regardless.
I think.
I think that's like a consideration.
Yeah.
I think you'll look perfect, and I cannot wait for one to see this dress.
Actually, I can't wait to see it either. I feel like I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you haven't seen it like fit necessarily.
I haven't seen it fitted at all.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah. Well, I had the advantage of kind of writing out the list of talking points this week, and so I've got a whole list of things that I could be doing for self-care.
I could be.
I could be. Yeah, but like I said, I think it's better to set small goals to achieve bigger ones. And I think the goal that I've been telling myself I want to do, but I haven't really given myself a motive to actually do, is to just drink more water. And I've got a big water bottle, and I want to drink at least one full serving of it every single day, at least, just to get more hydrated. It's healthy, and there's a lot of benefits to just drinking more water. And again, that's only like one of 55 billion things I could be doing to improve my life, but I think that's true for everybody, and I think it's an achievable goal to, at least for the next week, drink, what's that, like 1.5 liters of water a day?
I don't know how.
That's got to be a good quantity of water per day. Come on.
It's a lot.
I drink about half a glass of water every day. So.
Oh, dude.
Is it Diet Coke the rest of the day?
No, it's just nothing. Or it's cider. In general, like over the past year, since having graduated college, I do think I have paid more attention to self-care. In different parts of my life. I used to drink a lot of soda. Now I don't. I used to eat out more than we do. I mean, now we eat at home every day. And
Not
I think
every day.
Almost every day.
At least once a day.
And I think the benefit, there's a lot of small benefits that come from these little self-care things that we can gradually change in our lives, that really, at some point, if you start doing these things continually, you'll realize, wait a minute, I've felt better over this course of time than I did before I started this change. And so I think that should be a good encouragement to everybody to try and start setting some small goals and being consistent with them. And then in the long run, further down the line, you'll realize that there is actually a real big benefit to doing some of these things to improve your life.
If you do them enough, at some point, they're just going to become second nature. And you won't even think of them as like active, like self-help. They're just more like, or self-care. You know, like drinking more water will just become your normal water intake. Or like if you have like a irregular sleep schedule, that's not good for you. So if you're just like, yep, I'm going to go to bed at 11, wake up at whatever, you know, like every day, that will just become your routine, and that'll be healthier for you too.
That's one of the ones on my list, but I did not put that for this week. Maybe next week.
It increases your chances of Alzheimer's later if you don't get proper sleep.
Well, we've talked for quite a bit, so I want to end off the episode with a segment I call Scattered Truth. I'm going to say 3 facts, but only one of them is true. It's up to the 3 of you to figure out which one it is, and you can only ask me to explain 2 of the 3 facts. Does that all make sense?
When you say explain, what do you mean?
I have a written out explanation.
Oh.
It's a very
How long is it?
It's a brief explanation. I give
Like
all
more
right.
context behind it?
Yeah, more context behind it. And I think moving forward, we should probably do like a themed kind of facts kind of thing if we redo the
But
segment.
today it's scattered.
Today it's really scattered, I'll tell you what. All right, so first fact. The unicorn is the national animal of Norway.
Okay.
The second
I
fact.
wish that was true.
Australia is wider than the moon.
Wider with a D.
Mm-hmm. And the third one, Angelina Jolie is the reason Google created Google Images.
Well, I know that one's wrong because that's Jennifer Lopez, idiot. So the third one's
I'm glad you knew that. Wait, why is Jennifer Lopez the reason they created Google Images?
She wore this like really low cut, really hot dress, and people wanted to see images of her in that dress.
I'll give it away. Allie is correct on that one.
Oh, our chances went up.
Yeah.
I really want to believe that it's Norway, that's the true one. These are my ancestors, man. That'd be so cool if they love the unicorn.
I feel like I've heard that before, but I don't know if it was false.
I don't know how true that one is. Like, that one strikes me as could go either way, but I feel like there's no way Australia is wider than the moon, right?
I don't know.
But then again, it totally could
I
be.
think,
I would have no idea.
does your explanation when we're talking with, are we talking from, I'm not going to ask you right now, I'm asking them, east to west?
I would assume the widest part of Australia.
Yeah, just the widest
Just
part,
the
yeah.
widest?
Can you explain that one, Tony? Or are we in agreement we want that one explained?
I'll say Australia's diameter from east to west is wider than the moon's diameter.
So yes. Okay.
That's it?
That's
East
my
to west.
explanation.
Wait, what?
Okay,
all
what's
you
your
get.
explanation for Norway's?
That it derives from Norse and Celtic mythology. It's associated with chivalry, dominance, purity, and innocence.
I feel like we should go with the Norway one.
I also think we should go with Norway, but I feel like it's going to be Australia. But my vote's on Norway.
I'm okay with that.
How big is the moon, right? Like, how big is that guy up there? I mean, it's pretty big, but I feel like
Is it though? I feel like compared to
it could be deceptively small.
compared to the size of the Earth, isn't it like?
Because Australia's
significantly
pretty
smaller?
chunky. It's a continent.
I feel like the gravity on the moon is 1/6 what it is on Earth, and that would make me think the moon is bigger than Australia.
I agree,
But
but
I also haven't done that calculation since high school physics.
I feel like the Norway thing, though, I feel like it could be like, it'll be some weird mythological creature, but it won't be a unicorn.
Okay, can you say what it is again? The Norway one. What is the fact?
That it's derived from Norse and Celtic
No.
mythology and lore.
What's the fact?
The unicorn is the national animal of Norway.
I feel like that's true. I feel like it's true.
Let's do it. Lock it in.
That is false. Stop. But the
You knew it.
unicorn The unicorn is the national animal of Scotland.
That's why. I knew I had heard that before.
See, I'm Scottish. I should have known from my ancestors.
Australia's diameter is actually wider than the moon. And I did have the numbers, but if I had gone through the numbers, it would have given it away. So
Well, what are the numbers?
I forgot. Like
You didn't write them down?
I hit backspace because I didn't want to accidentally like read it off, and then you're like, oh yeah, if he's saying the numbers, of course they're true.
You could have just made up the numbers.
I could have.
Yeah,
just
we
made
wouldn't
up
have-
the numbers. Well, I have a round 2 if you guys want to play again.
Yeah.
Try your luck once more.
Sure, I'm down.
The first fact: a sloth can hold its breath longer than a dolphin.
That
Definitely
seems
not true.
unlikely.
Number 2, Japan has the highest amount of vending machines in the world. The ratio per
True.
capita is 8 vending machines per person.
That one's true. I did a
that.
project on that. That's true.
The 8-to-1 is true.
It's something like that. Yeah.
The earliest recorded use of the abbreviation OMG to mean oh my god was in a letter to Woodrow Wilson in 1917.
Pretty sure it's the Will I Am song with whoever else is on that. Britney Spears or Justin Bieber, something like that. It's the vending machine.
What's scaring me though is the numbers.
Yeah, because he changed.
There's a lot of numbers here.
There's a lot of
Scotland back to
numbers.
Norway.
Well, Japan, I know for sure. Like, I feel super confident that Japan is like #1 vending machine capital of the world kind of thing.
Are you sure it's an 8-to-1 ratio though?
Yeah.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I think when I did that, it might have been closer to like 6 or something. But maybe you're trying to throw me off by asking me that question. Gotta be honest, I don't really remember the other two because I was so focused on that one.
A sloth can hold its breath longer than a dolphin.
I feel like that
That
could
sounds.
be true.
That's.
And the earliest abbreviation, or earliest recorded use of the abbreviation OMG to mean oh my god was in a letter to Woodrow Wilson in 1917.
I feel like that's a different slang. I feel like it's not OMG, but the truth is like something
It's
else.
probably LOL or something.
Lots of love, Woodrow Wilson.
The sloth thing, I'm like, even if that's true, I feel like it's kind of a trick one because a sloth is never normally going to need to hold its breath that long, right?
They're good swimmers, but I don't think they would need to hold their breath. Their metabolism would be slower than a dolphin's.
I mean,
in
they
a
sleep for like
sad
22
way.
hours a day.
Yeah, so their metabolism's really slow. But I don't know why they would evolutionarily need to hold their breath longer than a dolphin.
How long do dolphins hold their breath for?
Yeah, it makes me wonder, like, are they popping up?
Y'all can ask me
time?
for explanations here, you know?
Because I feel like, so dolphins, when they sleep, according to what I've learned off of the internet, not researching it, but they only sleep with half of their brain asleep at a time. So are they surfacing the entire time that they're sleeping? Are
asleep?
they able to surface and breathe?
And you kind of blew my mind. I never thought about how dolphins sleep.
You gotta get on the good side of the internet. Get on my side of the internet. Half the brain.
I never, like, because, you know, I just didn't think about it. Like, because if they're down there, they can't get any air.
Have you never thought
I'm-
about that?
No, Allie, I'm thinking about the Roman Empire.
You've never thought about how Jenny sleeps at night? You never thought to consider Jenny.
Don't you
sleeping
bring
at
Jenny into this.
night? I will bring Jenny into this.
Who's Jenny?
This dolphin I pseudo befriended as a young boy
Oh,
in Orlando,
yeah.
Florida.
Oh,
Discovery
yeah.
Cove.
Of course. It's probably dead.
Thank you.
Okay, we have two explanations. Do we want to
Oh.
go Japan and sloth? What was the other one?
OMG.
Oh,
Woodrow. That seems false.
I feel like that's false as well.
I definitely want an explanation of the dolphin.
All right, we'll go with one for now.
All right. A sloth can hold its breath for 40 minutes. A dolphin can hold its breath for 10 minutes.
Damn, that's not very long.
That's not very long.
I feel like it kind of checks out, though, in a weird way.
Humans can hold their breath for 10 minutes.
How often does a dolphin surface?
Where do dolphins
At least every 10
live?
minutes.
Allegedly. I don't know. I feel like the Japanese vending machine one, that one's right except for the 8.
The only thing I could think is that they just have such a slow metabolism, they don't need to breathe that often to begin with. But 40 minutes? That's a long
And I will say, there really do be a lot of vending machines in Japan, man. Like, I feel like it could be 8-1. I don't know.
Is the 8-1 the population of Japan?
Mm-hmm.
Do we want an explanation for Japan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it's not going to be super helpful, but yeah.
Are you sure you want it? All right.
Yeah.
Japan is famous for its vending machines, and the safety of the country allows for a huge quantity in various areas. They sell all sorts of items, even ice cream, rice, instant noodles, cameras, and more. That's all you got.
I knew that, man. I think it's that one.
Yeah, I think we should go with that one. And then if we're wrong, I'd rather be wrong about that one than wrong about the sloth one.
Because if we're wrong about this one, we're like close.
I'm gonna say I think it's the sloth one, but I'll go with Japan.
Overruled.
Well, I'll tell you, it is not OMG. The true story behind that is that it was in a letter to Winston Churchill in 1917. A military guy said OMG and then wrote oh my god, and that was the first recorded use of the word of OMG.
Okay.
Why do you even abbreviate it then?
And so y'all are between Japan and sloth, and I have to let you know that in Japan there are so many vending machines that there is a 23-1 per capita ratio. And a sloth can in fact hold its breath longer than a dolphin. So y'all just really suck at this game. Y'all are
I'm more
Hold
blown
on.
away that a dolphin can only hold its breath for 10 minutes.
I read it online. And that's facts, dude.
Googling it.
It is every 23 people. Holy crap.
Oh my god.
No way it's that high. I mean, I thought 8 was too high. We thought 8 was high.
Yeah. Well, you threw in 6.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, gosh. Sorry.
Why can a dolphin only hold its breath for 10 minutes? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, tell them
That
to
must
step
be
up
why
their
they have to
games.
sleep with half their brain.
Do they alternate which side of their brain sleeps?
I think so, yeah. When I did a dolphin thing in Florida last Christmas, they do alternate. I'm pretty sure they said, like, you know, we don't need to remember to breathe, right? We just breathe anyways.
Sometimes
But
I do.
dolphins need to remember to breathe. So the half of their brain that is still awake when they're like half asleep type deal is remembering to breathe,
Half of their brain is just breathe.
essentially. That could be a false fact, but we are playing Scattered Truth after all. So
The scattered game with even more scattered answers.
yeah, so I hope y'all enjoyed the first iteration of Scattered Truth. I think that was a pretty fun game. We should have themed facts next
I'm
time
angry
around.
that we didn't win.
I like themes.
Yeah.
Did we ever introduce ourselves? Did we not do that?
We did not.
I'm Tony.
I'm Talia.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Allie.
Oh, questions about burgers. I think most burgers have buns that are too small. That wasn't a question, but the question was, do you guys agree?
What?
Because the more you put on a burger, like I wanted the bun to hang slightly over the toppings, because if it's just like totally even with the toppings, you're gonna like lose it, and it's not gonna be able to hold everything.
But then you have bites that are just bread.
I'd rather it be too small than too big.
No.
I'd rather
Allie, I back Allie on. You're gluten free anyways. Your buns suck.
Yeah, what do you know?
Hey, I've still eaten normal burgers. Oh, how I long for them. Well, should we wrap episode 1?
Yeah.
Scattercast.
Let's wrap episode 1. We don't really have. I don't have an outro like line ready.
Wow.
I can
Yeah,
just
we need
say
to come up with that.
for now. I can just say thanks for listening to the Scattercast. Subscribe on Spotify and check out the next episode.
Thanks
Calculated.
for listening to
JB.
That's so
the Scattercast.